Go ahead, Damien. Go ahead, Damien.
Okay. Hello. How are you? Welcome. My name is Damien McCulley. You're very welcome to Destination Newry's news bite here on a Monday evening. The coronavirus update. 524 people have died in Northern Ireland, while 1,650 have died in the Republic of Ireland. Total deaths in the island of Ireland to date, 2,174. Republic's number of confirmed COVID-19 cases is 25,062. 113 people have died from the coronavirus in the UK in the last 24 hours. The total number of deaths in the UK is 39,045. There are 288 confirmed cases in Newry, Mourne and Down. In Newry, Mourne and Down, there are 44 coronavirus-related deaths. There are 533 confirmed cases in Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon. In Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, there were 72 coronavirus-related deaths. Hotels and other tourist accommodations will be allowed to open from the 20th of July. More than 20 North Down primary principals have called for the transfer test to be suspended. Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill has said that people may be able to go to caravans and self-catering accommodation sooner than the scheduled date of the 20th of July, given that all they are self-contained units. Again, this will depend on scientific evidence as we move through the next few weeks and days, she said. Speaking about the people who are currently shielded, Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill says the advice from scientists and medics is that the risk of exposure to the virus has significantly reduced. However, they are still very vulnerable to the effects of this disease. You have come this far, so make sure you protect yourself as best you can until we're out the other side of this, Ms O'Neill has said. Again, we recognise that these are baby steps, but they are baby steps in the right direction. First Minister warns of new evidence of complacency. Arlene Foster says the public will prolong the coronavirus recovery by disregarding the government's guidelines. She told today's daily briefing that whilst most people have been adhering to public health advice, we have seen new evidence of complacency over the weekend. She said scenes like that was witnessed in Ballyholland Beach on Friday night are simply not acceptable. She said the world has not beaten COVID-19. This is a global pandemic without a vaccine yet, and it still dwells among us, and it loves mass gatherings. All of us want Northern Ireland to return as quickly as possible to something like the society we took for granted just 3 months ago. But unfortunately, you will prolong this journey if you ignore the public health advice and create the conditions where the coronavirus can thrive. Other news. The transfer test. More than 20 North Down primary principals have called for the transfer test to be suspended. I've already said that, but we iterated again. And I suppose one for the history buffs. Spanish dig closes in on the burial site of Irish Lord Red Hugh O'Donnell. Somewhere beneath a street in the northwest Spain, probably between a bank branch and a budget clothes store, lies the ruined chapel where an 8-toed rebel Irish lord was buried after his final fatal mission 418 years ago. Red Hugh O'Donnell, who escaped captivity and led a rebellion that almost expelled the Tudor English forces from Ireland, fled to Spain after the Battle of Kinsale in 1602, when the rebels tried to team up with the beleaguered Spanish expeditionary force. He came to the country to Spain to lobby for a French-Spanish invasion, but died of a suspected tapeworm infection at the age of only 29. The GAA. The GAA returned to the play roadmap. The report of the GAA's COVID-19 advisory group is imminent. This was confirmed on the Sunday game by Dick Clerkin, chair of the Croke Park Medical, Scientific and Welfare Committee, who is a member of the advisory group. Clerkin said that he hoped the draft roadmap back to activities for the GAA would be issued in the coming days. Well, we look forward to that one. As normal, now what we do is we go to the community associations around the area, and we're going to go up to Ballyholland, and we're going to be talking to Rosie. And Rosie, you have a special helper with you this evening.
Yes, I have indeed. This is my son John. He's P7 in Ballyholland Primary School.
Well, John, you're very welcome making your debut here on Destination Newry, so you can get all your friends in your school to look back here and see you making your debut. So you're very, very welcome to Destination's News Bite. And Rosie, take it away and let your son lead the charge.
Thank you, Damien. So, hello everybody and welcome as always to the Ballyholland News. So, I'm going to start this evening with a few birthday shout outs. So, our first birthday shout out is for Larry McGuigan. Larry is a long-term Ballyholland resident. He is 79 years young today. His daughters wanted to wish him and his family wanted to wish him a very happy birthday. Everybody around the area knows Larry. He is a very famous ballroom dancer. And an interesting fact about Larry is he was the first ever resident in Innisfree Park in Ballyholland 60 years ago. Next shout out is a very happy 8th birthday for last week to Sophie McKee, who is a primary 4 in Ballyholland Primary School. The next birthday shout out is a very happy 22nd birthday for tomorrow for Nathan Weir. Nathan, I am told, is a keen soccer player and by all accounts he is the current holder of the All-Ireland Sun Worshipper Trophy. That's lots of love from all your family. Also, very happy birthday for a few weeks ago, I forgot about him, Paddy Sweeney, my neighbour, who was 90 years young. And my last birthday shout out is for my sister-in-law, Laura Carroll. I'll not say what age Laura is, us girls don't like to tell our age, but Laura, very, very happy birthday from all the family. So I'm going to move on to my GAA update for Ballyholland Harps. So just to reiterate that as we are following the GAA guidelines, the club grounds are still closed. The gates are locked. We are having a wee bit of bother with some young ones that are jumping the gates, and we understand they want to get onto the field and they want to kick the ball and all that. They're littering and people are having to go in and clean up after them. We're going to ask, please, don't do this. The grounds are closed for a reason. We are having to follow these guidelines. And any updates from the GAA, we will certainly be posting on Facebook. This also includes no dogs on the playing field or around the grounds of the club because somebody has to clean it up. So thank you all very much for following the guidelines. But if we can ask you to just stay out of the grounds until further notice. Next thing is Ballyholland are taking part in the Irish Life Step Challenge. That is all across Ireland and it's been run between Irish Life and the GAA. So basically no, that's not it, Cahill. You set up the app on your phone and your phone or your watch or whatever monitors your steps, and the club that registers the most steps within the month of June has the opportunity to win a £2,500 O'Neill's voucher for the club. So it's all the details are on Facebook. If anybody would like to join the challenge with us, please get the app on your phone and get your steps going because we know we're all out walking an awful lot in this lovely weather. The next one is the Club Lotto. The Club Lotto is relaunching for us at the weekend, if I can just pull this up. So Ballyholland Harps Lotto, it's back. And as a little thank you for your patience and loyalty, we've dropped an additional £400 into our jackpot, take it up to a whopping 7,500. The draw will take place at 9:30 on Sunday evenings. This is to be confirmed and it will be on Facebook. In the coming days, the page will provide a link for Club Funder where you'll be able to purchase your tickets. But in the meantime, tickets are available from McQuillan's Ballyholland shop. And just note that the shop closes at 6 o'clock on a Sunday. So for any information with regards to the lotto, please contact any of the committee members. But as I say, I'll have all the details of the Club Lotto up on the Facebook page. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Ballyholland Camogie Club. They had a fantastic fundraiser called Jumping for Our Stars. And I think Cahill has some photographs to bring up here now. So basically, the Camogie Club set this up a few weeks ago where everybody took part in Jumping for Our Stars and donating money. The money was used to buy care packages, and then these care packages were given out to frontline workers and care workers and vulnerable in our community. And it was an amazing fundraiser, and it was so well received. Just to see all the photographs and the videos of all the happiness that the girls spread across our community in this time of need. So a massive well done to the Camogie Club. They gave out 140 care packages and they are still going. So if you know anybody that would like one, certainly get in contact with the page and I will pass it on to the Camogie Club. Next thing, I'd just like to say a thank you to Brenton Monaghan. Everybody around the country knows Brenton. Brenton is a fantastic photographer, and Brenton is always up and about round the harps taking photographs, and he took this lovely photograph on day 77 of lockdown. This was the sunrise over Father Lynch Park, and I'm sure you'll agree it's a fantastic photograph for us to have. So everybody at Ballyholland would just like to say a massive thank you to Brenton for always being up and about and capturing these moments for us. So thank you, Brenton. And I think that is me on my club roundup. I'm going to move on now to Ballyholland Sunshine Club. Now, Ballyholland Sunshine Club is run out of our community centre. The Sunshine Club is for the mature people in our community. It's for just social gathering for these people. They have a cup of tea and a piece of cake and just have a bit of crack. And there's always fun and games organised all the time. They go on day trips. They go to garden centres, historical places. Now and again, they have a wee social tea dance. They were giving out care packages as well to all their members, which was absolutely fantastic. They had done this themselves without any fundraising. Obviously, it's not on at the moment for these people, but the minute it's back on, they've assured me that they will be posting it online and on Facebook. And they did want to mention that they're always looking for new members, especially men, because it's open to both men and women of whatever age who are looking to get out and socialise a bit. So very well done to the Sunshine Club. It's a fantastic facility for us to have for our more mature people in our community. Thank you very much, Sunshine Club. Just a very quick update. Ballyholland School had posted a letter on Facebook. Obviously, we know the transfer test within the Newry and Mourne grammar schools has now been cancelled for incoming P7, so there'll be no transfer test. The letter obviously was just saying basically if any parents in Ballyholland have any concerns or questions, you can contact the school, or obviously you can go on to the grammar schools websites because they have all the information about the sub-criteria that your children would need to meet without the transfer test. Then just a very quick mention of Rascals and Ruffins playgroup. It's our playgroup in Ballyholland. It's our feeder playgroup into the primary school. They just wanted to let everybody know, all the kids, that they really missed them and they would like to wish them all very well for going into P1 in hopefully September in whatever way that they do have to go in. So I'm just going to go on to some other news now. Just obviously, again, I think everybody's having the same issue, a wee bit around the litter on our roads and dog fouling. Walking around the roads of Ballyholland, I have to say now, there's a lot of people have ended up having to buy signs themselves and put them on their gates and round their gardens and on their fences, asking people to not let their dogs foul in their gardens. So I suppose everybody's having the same issue. Please, please, please pick up after your dog. It's not anybody else's job to do it. It's not fair on the community. It's not fair when you're out walking children if you're shouting constantly, watch the dog poo, watch the dog poo. So we're just asking, please pick up after yourself when you're out and about walking. Another bit of an update I have, if I can bring it up here quickly, sorry, is from our local councillor, Declan McAteer. Declan has been fantastic in giving me updates every Monday. So the first thing that Declan wanted to talk about was, he said the sheep were a great price in Hilltown sale yard today. But anyway, just on a note on that there, the farmers are praying for rain. I know we're not, but I think they could really do with it. So Declan says, can we all say a prayer for the farmers? So just an update from our local councillor, Declan. So return to Ballyholland School in September. The council have suggested locally that the Education Minister should look at using, for example, Ballyholland Community Centre as an off-site option to assist the principal to solve the problem of social distancing in classes. The open spaces and separate rooms will provide solutions to this problem. He has received information from the Health Trust highlighting the fact that there is a 70% drop in red flag referrals for serious diseases in our area, like cancer, since this pandemic started. There remains in place a triage system for people to be assessed by their doctors, so don't hesitate with any abnormalities to go to your doctor. The Trust has also extended their acute care at home service to include a community rapid response team. This is mainly used to ensure elderly people can be treated in their own homes or indeed their own nursing homes for many illnesses as an alternative to hospitalisation. Highly skilled diagnostic testing can be done at home in cases. There are many members of the community in Ballyholland who have been benefiting from this wonderful service. Council environmental health actions. Council staff are engaging easing restrictions relating to retail. And basically what Declan's saying here is that there will be officers out and about in Newry just to ensure that social distancing regulations are being adhered to. With regards food, health and safety and things like that there in retail. So just if anybody in Ballyholland is a business and they're thinking about opening up, just remember that there are obviously rules and regulations in place, and the council are here to help if you have any queries or concerns with regard that there. So thank you very much, Declan, for the local council update. So my last thing is I am going to do a wee bit of a history snippet every week. With regards the associations, the Ballyholland area. So my son John here is a primary 7, outgoing primary 7 in Ballyholland Primary School. So every week I'm going to ask a primary 7 pupil to give them their last wee bit of time because they're not at school to do a history snippet for me. So John is going to give us a very wee brief history on Ballyholland GAA Club.
Ballyholland Harps is a small GAA club in County Down. The club was founded in 1954 and has been based at its present grounds, Father Lynch Park, since 1984. The club was formed in 1954 with the mission of bringing Gaelic games to a small community on the outskirts of Newry. Nearly 7 years later, the club is now getting bigger with nearly 800 members. The club's home is Father Lynch Park, named after its founder member, and can be found about 1.5 miles outside Newry. The club crest depicts some of the key features of a harp, a cross symbolising Mass Rock and the Mourne Mountains in the background. As a GAA club, the Harp provides teams from under 6s to senior in both football and camogie. We always welcome new families to join our club. Thanks for listening. Up the Harps.
Thanks very much, John. So that's just going to be my weekly history snippet. So next week, tune in and you will be able to see Maya McMahon, who is the head girl of Ballyholland Primary School, and she's going to give us our next history snippet. So folks, thank you very much for listening. Please keep the updates coming and all the news in this lockdown time. Be safe. Thank you.
Rosie, brilliant idea. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and that's a great idea. And well done, young man. Absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
And I love the Ballyholland jersey as well. Yeah. So well done. Great idea.
Thanks very much, Damien.
I hope other people pick that up. Great, Rosie. Listen, thanks a million from Ballyholland. And then we're going to go from Ballyholland. We're going to slide down the hill and head down towards Helena. And Helena, how are you? I hope you're well. It's a lovely day. All over to you, Helena. Tell us what's happening down your part of the woods.
Hi, Damien. Hello from the Costa del Meadow and Armagh Road. Well done, Rosie, and fantastic, John. That I really enjoyed that. That was great. I'm probably going to cross some wires with Rosie. Some people might think that we actually consulted with each other before we did this, because I'm going to talk about some things that she did as well. But first of all, I want to just update on our I'm just going to go with the photographs because obviously we had an issue with my internet last week. This is my lovely neighbour, young Thomas Harrison, who will be 14 years old tomorrow. And he had a big day planned to go and see Elmo, who he absolutely loves, but obviously with the lockdown and the restrictions, he can't. But they had a lovely birthday party in the backyard for him the other day. So happy birthday, Thomas. Great young fella. Now I'm good. The flow of this isn't the flow that I had, but so this I'm going to talk about Jennings Park. Jennings Park in the recent times with the restrictions, it's been great to see so many people actually using this facility. Lots of families have been there. There are quite a number of people who use it for their daily exercise. We too have had a problem with littering. So we would just appeal to everyone, yes, absolutely use the park for your family outing, but just please take your rubbish home with you. There is a bin in Jennings Park. However, strangely, there are no rubbish bins in the adjoining car park at the leisure centre, right beside Jennings Park. So that's maybe something I'll be looking into. The other thing is you can see these signs, no dogs allowed on the playing facility. So there's one there and it's an £80 on the spot fine. And the previous one that we just looked at, that's up to a £500 penalty. These signs I found were quite easy to miss, and quite a lot of people actually do have their dog on the park. So this is just maybe to let you be aware that those signs are up. I have had a few people saying that there have been instances where there's been dog dirt on the pitch and whatever, which is not pleasant at all. So it's always bin it, bag it and bin it on the street or in a park or anywhere else. But I just wanted to let people be aware that these signs are actually up in the Jennings Park area. So I'm going to move on and talk about our St. Bridget's. St. Bridget's now are streaming live mass at 10:30 on the webcam. I think it's during the week, so it's on weekdays. So if you go onto the Cathedral Parish, you'll get the daily mass live from St. Bridget's Chapel at 10:30 in the mornings. I'm just waiting to see what other picture comes up, because I'll go with the flow of the pictures and not with the flow of my loose script that I had. I was going to talk then possibly about our continued work with our community food bank. So we were delivering at the weekend, so that was week 10 for us, and we delivered food shopping bags to Violet Hill Avenue, College Gardens and Mountain View Drive. As I said, this is our 10th week, so we've delivered approximately 1,000 bags. Now the group of volunteers we have, I think there's 6 or 7 of us, so obviously we give up our time to volunteer in the community, and the reception that we get is absolutely fantastic. As I've previously said, it's not even the fact that people are getting products, it's the fact that we've knocked someone's door. What I would want to reiterate, and I have said it before, it's been said numerous times on our Facebook page, first and foremost, we aim to deliver these food parcels, or a shopping bag of food, to our elderly and vulnerable. So that's the first port of call for us. And then once we've done that, then we try to identify others in the community who we think may need some help. Now, there are almost 600 houses in our area. So, we will not know everybody. We will not be aware of everybody. The other thing being that, people are very proud and no one wants to ask for help. But I can tell you that in recent weeks, we've had a number of people who have bitten the bullet and sent a private message to our page. There are only 2 admins on our page that see these messages. There's myself and Noreen, who is the treasurer. So any messages that come in, it's us that see them, it's us who deal with them, and so it's completely confidential. We've managed to help quite a number of people who've privately messaged the page, and the relief, when we've given them some assistance or some support, the relief is just unbelievable. It's like a weight that has been lifted, and they've actually said, I wish I had have asked earlier. I wish I'd had the courage, because it is very difficult to reach out and ask for help. We've all been there. I've had my own challenges through my life, being a single parent after my husband died. Noreen's had her challenges, and we've had to ask for help throughout our lives, and it's not an easy thing to do. So, there's lots of understanding, empathy, and most of all, confidentiality within that. So if you or someone or someone in your family or a friend you feel could really do with a wee bit of a lift, or just, a wee bit of temporary support, please let us know, because we rely on you to give us that information to enable us to help the people who actually need it. So, please don't be shy at coming forward. Just drop a private message to the Meadow and Armagh Road Facebook page, and we will do everything that we can to help. And even if it's a case that we're not actually able to help, we will signpost you to the people who can help you. So, you know, please don't be struggling. Times are difficult. People are furloughed. I'm actually furloughed myself. So, you know, everybody's sort of finding it tough. So, you know, let's all help each other. You know, if everybody can do a bit, that would be great. So I just wanted to mention that. And we've done mass times. We've done Jennings Park. Another thing that we actually had, I just wanted to mention it. Last night we had a couple of fires in the Meadow. Yesterday evening there was fire lit on the bank of Jennings Park. Thankfully it came to very little and it burned itself out, but at the same time there was quite a larger fire at the bottom of Sandy's Field. Now everything is like a tinderbox at the minute because the weather is so dry, and it could be a case that somebody's dropped a cigarette or whatever, or it may have been deliberately lit, who knows. But you know, just a bit of extra care maybe. And as Rosie said, some of the farmers are praying for rain. We're not used to this weather, but thankfully it's been a godsend with everything that's going on. So just asking people just to sort of be a wee bit careful if they're disposing of cigarettes, etc. We also want to recognise our 4 local grammar schools in taking the initiative in not agreeing with the transfer test this year for the P7 children who will be moving over next year. Again, very difficult times in education, and you know, some people will welcome that and some people may not welcome it. You know, there are tough decisions to be made, and you know what, I think a lot of us need to be thankful that it's not us that have to make those decisions. So, you know, well done to Our Ladies, the Sacred Heart, the college and the Abbey Grammar School. You know, you've been trailblazers in this, and well done for that. And I'm going to then mention another couple of birthdays. So we have a very special birthday for a very special person. So we've got Brendan Cranny, who is a long-time member of our community association. He's probably been there from the year dot. And he is 67 years old. I think it's on the 5th of June. And he's also 46 years married to the long-suffering Imelda. And here, wasn't he the choir fella that got married on his birthday? So we'll never forget his anniversary. You know, he's a smart man. So happy birthday and congratulations to Brenton and Imelda on the occasion of that birthday and the anniversary. We also want to wish a happy birthday to our very own local hairdresser, Carmel Dooley from Main Attraction. So Carmel's had a birthday as well. So I hope you had a lovely day, and hurry up and get back. My hair needs cut. And I think we also had Karen Quinn from Derrybeg Drive, who also celebrated a birthday recently. So happy birthday to you. And I'm just having a look to see, have I missed any birthdays? No. And I have congratulations. So this is a personal congratulations for me. So my son Niall proposed and got a yes from his girlfriend Jo. So they got engaged at the weekend. So massive congratulations to those two. That's the last one. So hopefully it'll be away soon. So congratulations you two, I'm delighted for you. And another congratulations to my neighbour, Peter Smith, who got great news today. He had a successful interview and he's been accepted to do his PGCE, which means that he's going to be pursuing a career in teaching. So well done, Peter. Really, really delighted for you, and wishing you the best of luck with that. And finally, I'm going to talk about our person of the week. Well, to be fair, there are photographs for that, but we'll hopefully get to see them. Our person of the week is Noreen Rice, our treasurer, and one of our fellow volunteers on the committee. Noreen is she's just a bundle of energy, and
She's been absolutely fantastic at sourcing funding and keeping us right in everything financial within the whole community food bank scheme that we launched. She's also now the designated driver when we're doing the deliveries, so she doesn't have to walk. And but she's fantastic. Always the one way, huge help, very empathetic, so helpful to people, and she's just great. She's fantastic just to have as a team member and a friend, as are all of the guys. I just want to say, you know, this has been just a fantastic initiative, this community food bank, because the 6 or 7 people, 8 people maybe, you know, we've just had an amazing time with each other, helping other people, getting involved within the community. And it's not only just been great for the Meadow and Armagh Road residents, it's been fantastic for us as well. So I just wanted to say, recognise Noreen, thank you to her.
I couldn't leave. I've just found Brendan Cranny's photograph. I couldn't let him away with it, so I have to throw it up. I've got a photograph here.
You have to. Where is he? Look at that. If anybody, well, everybody in the Meadow and Armagh Road will know Brendan. He's some character, and I can tell you, he's a bloody hard man to listen to. But you know what? He's one of the best people you'll ever know. You know, you take him as you find him, and he won't change for anybody. And that's what we absolutely love about Brendan. And it's an absolute joy sometimes to work with him, and a pain in the ass a lot of the other times. But we love him. And you know, we've got a great team here out in the Meadow and Armagh Road. So yeah, that's it from us for this week. I'll go back out into the sunshine now shortly and sit under my umbrella.
Listen, Alina, thanks a million. I think Brendan's going to be having a chat with you later on this evening.
I'm sick listening to him, honest to God.
Well, he's fair play to him, and yes, he's doing a great job. So listen, Lena, thanks a million.
He's fantastic. Thank you, Damien.
So we seem to have lost Damien there for a second, so I'll just take over here for a wee second and I'll bring in Barra. Hiya, Barra, you can hear me okay?
Yeah, that's fine, Cal. How's things?
All right, and I'm with Barra. So we've lost Damien, a few wee technical there. Didn't the 2 girls do well there? I thought they were brilliant. And
done fantastic well. And I suppose Helena made the point, you're going to see a bit of overlapping in that, because a lot of the good stuff that's going on in communities is replicated in neighbouring communities, not there. So that's perfectly fine.
And you want to know something? See, the dog felling, it is a massive problem, because even when we go out all the time, I don't know why people are, if there's nobody about, they're not bothered lifting it, but it is a serious problem that people need to take it. But there is also a problem, Barry, can I say there's also a problem that there's a lack of bins for to put the stuff in as well. People don't want to walk like, you know.
That's possibly a thing that community associations can bring up with their local councillors out there. But I can say there's a strict, stringent dog filing policy within Uri Mourne Down District Council. And I know in Newtown, in the area that I'm representing, in Newtown and Cullyhanna and Dorsey and that, I tell dog owners, if your dog is found to be fouling on the street, your dog will be taken off you. Your dog will be impounded, because one call out to the dog wardens from Uri, if they drive out to Newtown and Cullyhanna, that they're going to take the dog with them. And you know, like, nobody wants to lose the pet of that. So for the sake of, you know, the responsibility of looking after the dog, it's a massive, massive issue that has health connotations for especially children as well.
Alina brought up a great thing there too. Like, you've seen the signs, 500 quid, you know what I mean? Who's going to afford that? So, but I do think that there does need to be something done, and perhaps this community thing that we've started in this, that if we do spot things like that, that as one voice can go forward and try and do something like get bins, you know. You've seen a brilliant, because it's coming across from Jarlath Tinley. Helena showed the signs, it's all coming up, but it's right to keep bringing it up, because the very fact that every community brings it up is something that needs to be dealt with, you know. And it is a health risk to children, as Damien mentioned. But I think I've got Damien back here. She'll be sick listening to me, and I'll let Damien just say hello to you, Barra. So thank you.
Thanks, Cathal. I don't know what happened. My internet just absolutely died there. It must be the heat coming in from the sun in South Armagh. Bara, you're very welcome. And I know,
Thanks,
I meant to say to this that we have noticed that some of the schools, a lot of the schools now are saying they're not going to go ahead with the transfer test. As a school teacher yourself, I'm not sure where you stand on the transfer test, but I know from my point of view, I would be one to say that the transfer test should be binned. And I mean, I failed 11 plus, so I have no, it doesn't mean if you fail it, you're a failure. But I think at the same time, now the way things is going, and if this works this year, and this is a huge decision by the schools, and if it works, Bara, why not keep it?
Yeah, Damien, and I have a couple of hats to put on me here. I'm a product of someone who did the 11 plus. I went to a grammar school in Armagh and went on to university and that there, and I had absolutely no fault with the system that I went through and that there. But with a different education system now, Damien, the education system that I was part of whenever I was in school was streamlined towards people doing the 11 plus and streamlined for heading to college and that. And there was no real avenue for vocational opportunities for children. But I'm also a year 7 teacher, so I'm teaching these children. I also have a child who's in year 7 this year, so this impacts me as a parent and as a teacher. Damien, I'm the special needs coordinator in the St Patrick's Primary School and Gaelscoil Fodder Nifa, and my passion in the school is getting every child to reach their potential. So whether you're a child on the autistic spectrum disorder, to give you every aspect and every chance and opportunity of achieving in school, or whether you're a child prodigy with an IQ of 140, I want you to achieve what you can as well. But there's one document that came out about 20 years ago, Every School a Good School, Damien, and that's the key document for schools and for teachers and for parents to realise that every school is a good school. You have a dog in trouble there, I think, have you?
I have, yeah. Listen, Bara, I'll leave you to tell us about the communities and I'll come back to you.
Good man. All right, Akarja, Fulcha Rove, you're all very welcome to the Newtown News. Although it's the Newtown News, I do talk about Cullyhanna, Dorsey, Silver Bridge as well, and all the good things that are going on. I'll just start today with talking about the food parcels and the fight against COVID-19. So over 1,000 parcels have been delivered in Newtown under the stewardship of Niall Murray and the Community Association, and it's fantastic work. There's quite a few NHS workers and frontline workers in Newtown. If you just go back, Cathal, to the first picture, we're still on that. I haven't got to that point yet. The frontline workers all need our support more than ever. We were all great. We were all clapping our hands on Thursday evenings, telling the NHS workers and frontline workers how proud we were of them. This photograph was sent to me on Saturday evening at maybe 8 o'clock. It's a bit far away there. If it was zoomed in a wee bit more, there are 24 people congregated outside between the chip shop and the post office at the bottom of Dundalk Street. That photograph was forwarded on to the PSNI. PSNI called out to them, dispersed the crowd and that, but it's symptomatic of what was on view all over social media. We saw Willie Clark, my council colleague, giving out about people in Newcastle going to beauty spots and that, and parking all down country roads and blocking farmers from getting out. And this is silage time for farmers. So there's no beauty spot as such in Newtown. So these people were congregating in the main streets, and it was terrible looking. And it's my big message for this week is we all want to get out of having the social distance. We want to get out of this crisis that we're in as soon as possible. And the only way we're going to get out of it, the only way we're going to get back to any semblance of normality again, is to adhere to the rules and the regulations. So to try and keep your 2 meter distance, to try and keep, even if it goes down to 1 meter, whenever children are going back to school or the GEA gets back in that, we're going to have to think about other ways of social distancing. But for the time being, social distance as far as possible, and that will expedite the whole thing. So that's my point on the COVID-19, and well done to everybody who's assisting with the food packaging, the food parcel scheme, and the food hubs and all that. The second one is the community cleanup. There was a massive effort across South Armagh on Saturday, Damien, and there was the first picture there is at St. Michael's GFC, where there was 5 or 6 of us. I'm the chairman of St. Michael's this year. 5 or 6 of us went down and cleaned up the premises. This is Newtown Community Centre with Niall and a few of the workers out cleaning around the front of the community centre. There are also Dungormley and Lear Grove Residents Association were flat out, as were the Sinn Féin Common in Newtown, flat out picking all the litter. This is the community group in Cullyhanna. So that's the St. Patrick's GFC and the Community Association and the Michael McVerry Common, all working together. Social distance and cleanup. The emphasis was on keeping 2 meters apart, to go out in teams of 2, one on either side of the road, to wear yellow vests, to wear gloves and face masks where possible. And the whole of South Armagh got a massive cleanup. There was a great positivity about it. Just roll her on to the next picture to see where we are, Cathal. And there was this is our friends out in Sheetram. You're way back there. This is our friends in Sheetram who got involved as well. The Gribbons and a few family and friends on the Lake Road. So that was great to see there as well. And I think our next picture is in Silver Bridge on the Ballyholland Road. That's E. O'Murrahu and his father Brian, who went out and filled 2 bags of rubbish along Daly Park on the Ballyholland Road in Silver Bridge. There was also in our next picture some fabulous work going on in Dorsey. In fact, the next couple of pictures are Dorsey. So the Dorsey Emmett's GFC and the Community Association got involved, and lots of small children, which is fantastic, working in their family units, working with their siblings, picking up rubbish in wee bags and helping to clear up the environment. So fantastic work. Quickly on to the next point, to see the picture up there just on time. I spoke last week about road bowling being a sport that is played in Newtown, and there's a lot of love for the sport in Newtown. There's a thriving road bowling club, and I was surprised last week and pleasantly surprised with the amount of interest that there came with the short feature that I did on road bowls last week. There've been lots of questions, more so than anything else, about the weight of the ball. I'm going to say the ball's 14 ounces. I think the ball's 14 ounces. It's an iron ball. It's really solid. Someone was asking me what would happen if you're standing along the side of the road and somebody threw it. We showed the video last week of the road bowl being thrown down the road. Quite simply, if you're standing in the way of it, it would break your leg without a shadow of a doubt. If a car was in the way of it, it would damage the front bumper or the front grille of it. It would break a headlight. But road bowls got good news to say that from next weekend, road bowls are permitted again. So, of course, using social distancing and that is, of course, it's not a contact sport. So if you're throwing against your immediate opponent, you don't need to contact them. Normally, you would shake hands before the score starts and you would shake hands at the end. You don't really converse that much in between because maybe one of you is ahead on the road than the other. And then anyone who's out watching it, I suppose, will be spread out the road. So great news for everyone interested in road bowls. And when we do get the road bowls up and running again next week, you're more than welcome, people, to come out and watch it on the Cullyhanna Road in Newtown. So my next image there, Cathal and Damien, is of Kelly Reel. And Kelly Reel, I'm delighted to say, is my person of the week for this week. You'll all remember last week, Pete Haughey got it for his award by Newry and Down District Council. But Kelly Reel has done sterling work this week. Her company, Good Choice Healthy Meals in Dorsey, donated 20 cherry trifles to be delivered along with meals being given out by Antubber Finnegan's Nursery. So the meals were being given out by Finnegan's. Kelly saw this happening, so she donated 20 beautiful pots of cherry trifle. It says Kelly is a young mother of 4 children who set up her own business a while back with her husband Benny Reel. The meals were beautiful, and people were thanking Finnegan's and Tubber and thanking Good Choice Healthy Meals. So Kelly, congratulations and fantastic work, and keep up the good work. Your community's delighted in you. So why who? I'm just going to mention quickly, Damien and Cal, today was the council AGM. So at the AGM of council every year, the highlight of it, or the big talking point of it, is the change of the chairperson. So the outgoing chairperson this year was my good friend Charlie Casey. I just wanted to pay tribute to his year as chair. I mentioned last week it was a strange year with so much of it spent in lockdown, but Charlie's been very active on social media, and he's been to the fore in the Zoom and Skype calls that we've had as a party and as a council. So just wishing Charlie all the best now as he settles back into normality with Brady and the family, and to wish Laura Devlin, who's going to be the new chair, all the best. And as well as that, as well as the chair of council, there are numerous other committees within the council and external roles and responsibilities that lots of councillors moved into today. So we were talking about dog fouling today. There's certain councillors will be sitting on neighbourhood services, which that's on the agenda of every meeting, and you know it's an exciting time and the start of a new council year again. The update on the walking tracks as well. The GAA have announced that from next Thursday, I think it's next Thursday, or maybe from the 8th of June, walking tracks will be reopening around the country. So that'll be a great positive here in South Armagh, where people like walking around the tracks. A couple of birthdays. I have a birthday wish for Angela Turley. It's her birthday, and that greeting comes in from her sister Magella McKeever in Dorsey. So happy birthday to Angela. We mentioned last week of Mary Carraher in Cullyhanna, who was 88 yesterday. Big shout out also to her granddaughter, Chantel Carraher, who celebrated a birthday yesterday as well. Margaret Reel, my mother-in-law, the mother of my wife, Rosemary, it's her birthday on Saturday, so to give her a big shout out from Seamus, her husband, and Rosemary and Nolene and Mihal, her children. And last but not least, Lorcan O'Murray, my son and heir, will be 4 on Saturday. So Lorcan will be starting school in September, and he turns 4 on Saturday. So that's sort of my roundup. A lot of positive stuff going on this week all around Newtown, Cullyhanna, Dorsey, and Silverbridge. The community cleanup being the highlight of it, without a shadow of a doubt. Changing times. We're getting ready to come out of the lockdown. Urge people to follow the guidelines and get us there quickly. Just before I let you in, Damien, I think Cahill's got one last video for me. I wanted to show the people another bit of fantastic community work today. An impromptu. I'll let you watch it first of all.
I'm like a lost ship adrift on the sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memories of your caress, so divine. Oh, how I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on the sea of tears, the sea of heartbreak.
All right, Cahill, thank you. And Cahill and Damien, that was a clip sent in by Pete Haughey of Newtown Menshed. They organised that was Andrew McMurdy, local musician, who put on an impromptu concert today for Tullyval and Fold in Newtown, for the residents of Tullyval and Fold, who were all told to sit outside their houses and to social distance, but just to bring cheer and happiness to Newtown Fold. It lifted my heart whenever I saw the video coming in. And I only got the video sent to me during the show. And I said to Pete, send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll send it to Cahill and we'll try and fit it in. So well done to everyone. It's been a good week, Damien.
Barra, when you see something like that and the way it happens, I think it's brilliant. What happened? My internet, the dog pulled the whole internet out of the wall.
I'd say so.
And it went down on me. And that's why he was squealing there. It scared the life out of him. So we've got it back up and running again. But that's why I love the live shows. Things like that happen. And then you getting that little video in. And, you seen Daniel O'Donnell going round Donegal and getting all the kudos for speaking and singing and all that. So well done to the singer there. Brilliant. I think it's a great idea. So, Barra, great work in the cleanup last week. I seen the boys in White Cross. They're going to be talking about it tomorrow evening, I think. And I was out that way on Saturday and I seen them in action, and it's great. And I think it's a credit to all the people that was out cleaning up. It's brilliant. Unfortunately, we have to do it because other people just seem to throw their rubbish at their tail, and people need this to, steady themselves and have a good look and think, oh, hold on, this is my village, this is my town, I live on this road. So please, don't do it. And of course, the dog fouling is a huge problem. So maybe with the new councillors coming in, and who is the new council chairperson again, Barra? I didn't really hear. You were saying
Laura Devlin, she's a councillor from the Mournes, is the new chair. So look, the point I would say, and I was trying to make before the show, let's use this platform of Destination Uri as an impetus for telling people, take back your community. If dog fouling is an issue in your community, let's stamp it out. Let's start identifying the dog walkers, the dog owners, who they are, and let's contact them and let your local councillor contact them, and let's stamp it out.
Yeah, well, look, there's no doubt, and Destination Uri is definitely leading the way, and they're getting we're getting great feedback from what we're doing here with the council, with the all that. So thanks again to yourself and all the other people. So, Barra, we can do this all again next week. The sun is still shining out there, so we're going to go out and get a little bit of sun before we go. But thanks a million, and I'm sure I'll talk to you later. And thanks to Helena and Rosie as well, and of course the wee man for saying us. I think that's a great idea. 7-year-old telling us all about this club. Great idea, great way to go. So thanks to Cal. We're on the air here in maybe 51 minutes here, so I think it's time to take a break here. So we'll do this all again tomorrow evening.